phenomenal webinar. It's evening time for me, and um, great for getting us started, Stevie. I just saw that. Evening time for me and morning time for many of you. But, one of the things we want you to know, and Stevie says this, so I'm going to steal one of his lines, is obviously your time is really valuable. And so our goal with you is to make sure that we really create and add meaningful knowledge and education and inspiration to your time with us. So no pressure to you, Stevie, at all. But anyway, so I'm your host tonight, and we have a few other live speakers. And so we're going to you'll see me weave in and out, and then I'll bring us back at the end. And we do try to have a few minutes at the end for some questions. So if you have questions, you don't have to wait. You can put them in the chat box, but we'll wait till the end to answer them for you. We are diving into the world of cellular health tonight. If you're here in the US, it's President's Day, which is kind of fun. So some people maybe had a holiday. Certainly the banks and the government was closed. The rest of us probably were out there doing our thing. But anyway, as we dive into cellular health, think about if you're a guest tonight, whether you're here to create an environment of wellness, or maybe you already do that and you want to maintain wellness, or you also are looking at the kind of opportunities that a breakthrough of this magnitude bring. Whatever that is, there'll be a little bit of all of that for everybody. So I'm going to introduce our first speaker, Mr. Stevie, joining us all the way from Australia. Phenomenal friend, business partner. He's a humanitarian, an incredible dad. I mean, you'll get to hear a little bit. He shares a little bit of his story at the beginning, so I won't steal all that thunder. He does it the best. So Stevie, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Kaleen, thanks very much for having me here. Always a pleasure to work with you because you're a tremendous leader, in mind and in heart, and not just for your team and not just even for your country, but globally too. I know you're willing to help anyone, and you do that globally and bettering people's lives and being a force for good in the world. So I'm very grateful to be aligned with you and to be a business colleague of yours, but also a friend too. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, folks, without further ado, let me jump straight into this presentation because as Kaleen said, your time is very valuable. I don't intend to waste it. I can't refund it like I can money. So lucky I don't have to refund money because one, you didn't pay anything to be here. And two, I don't think you'd ask for a refund after I give this information to you. It truly is a gift for you and for humanity. And, but yeah, I can't refund your time, as Kaleen said. So thank you very much for that. Therefore, time is more valuable than money in my book. So thank you very much for spending that with me. So as Kaleen said, my name is Stevie, and in case you couldn't tell by my Crocodile Dundee accent, my family and we live in Australia. Originally, I am from Sydney, but now we all live on the Gold Coast. And that was a dream come true when I can make that happen. We're minutes from beautiful beaches, mountains, rainforests, coastal cities, theme parks. We absolutely love it. I am very grateful for my life. I feel very blessed and I have an income and time and freedom that allows me to enjoy a great lifestyle with my family. It's also taken us to many parts of the world that once upon a time way too far out of our reach, to be honest. But the good vibes and good times have not always been the case, to tell you the truth. I was a very difficult, awkward and weird child, to tell you the truth, to parent and to school. I never made the grades. I was an average to below average achiever at best. And I was often told on a daily basis that I was stupid and useless. And I figured out along the way that when you're told something often enough, especially while you're young and impressionable enough, you kind of start to believe it. And so I later became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. And with that kind of thinking, I just walked myself way off track on life's journey throughout my teens and 20s. The PG version is that I had more than 20 different jobs in less that time. For over a decade, I was a very dumb but very good looking bouncer in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney. All right, I'm kidding about the good looking part, not about the dumb part. But I was a daydreamer. I had big dreams. I wanted to be, do, and have more. I really wanted to give more, actually. But my problem was I wasn't a daydream believer because I had little self-esteem, little self-confidence. So I'd done little with my life and felt like I had little to give. Physically, I've always been athletic, mainly in martial arts. But back then, I had health troubles. You wouldn't have known it looking at me, but inside I had autoimmune disorders, inflammatory issues, severe skin, respiratory and gut conditions most of my life, and lots of bad injuries. And as for financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs. with hopes going nowhere, no prospects, no financial security, no financial dignity. Now, here's how embarrassingly broke I was. Behind, I've had the phone, electricity, and gas cut off, not been able to run my car on anything more than just the fumes of petrol, if I could afford to run it at all. I've not been able to make the rent, and I've been evicted, all on more than one occasion, embarrassingly broke, no financial dignity. Now, I always believed in possibilities. I just didn't believe in them for myself. I doubted my potential. And so I was trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, frustrated, and unable to be who I really wanted to be. Now, as for the good things that were happening in my life, first, I met the girl of my dreams. And right then and there, more than ever before, I was motivated to become more. She believed in me, told me that I was more. She's the beautiful mother of my 4 beautiful boys who also look up to me. And I guess when you're told something often enough, right, kind of start to believe it. Now, second, I was introduced to this company's life-changing breakthrough, opportunity, culture, ethos, and training. The company leaders are extremely successful people. They believed in me too, taught me how to believe and become more. And so now, today, instead of having health and wealth problems, I've solved them, and I have the honor of helping others solve them too because of this life-changing breakthrough. Instead of financial insecurity and indignity, I have security and dignity because of this life-changing opportunity. And instead of being trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, frustrated, and unable to be who I really want to be, I now have the ability to believe and become more and give more because this company's training has shown me a life-changing better way. And so now I really want to spend the rest of my life doing nothing more than just bettering people's lives in any one of these life-changing ways too. And so what I'm going to share with you first is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. This is the life-changing breakthrough that I mentioned. It's medical experts are saying that this is a very big breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. For 2 decades, science had declared that this was impossible. However, now this is a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory medical studies. A very advanced breakthrough, by the way, 15 years ahead of its time. And any health goals or challenges or problems you can think of, remarkable results. And drug companies wanted it shut down, but more about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. What we'll be talking about goes well beyond drugs or nutrition, well beyond any type of ingredients or technology you already know about, because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science that is truly groundbreaking, category creating, and a true healthcare breakthrough. The Acere Redox cell signaling technology is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. Aside from being a mouthful, what are those? Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they are made within your body. They are native to your body. They are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication, therefore your cell-to-cell operation, therefore every single system, function, and operation of your body, all the way down to your genetic expressions in a positive way. Now, redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself by telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, repair unhealthy cells, and or replace damaged cells. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Bottom line is redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Now, why is this also all important? Because we are all of us, every single part of us made of cells. We live and die at the cellular level. Healthy cells, healthy body, healthy life. So redox signaling molecules are the keys to life. And what I mean by that, they are essential for the activation and function of our normal physiology. All of our body's major systems, biochemical and physiological processes, critically depend on redox signaling. Now, critically, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more mere seconds. Without your redox signaling molecules, life ends. Now, so if our bodies already make, by the way, these redox signaling molecules, the question is then why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, when we're born, we do make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy. Ever notice that? How they can run around all day? Ever notice that? And how they don't wake up sore the next day? They do it all over again. And it's also how children can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, both natural and man-made, our body's ability to make redox molecules declines daily. And then without as many of these redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing process becomes slow. Our cells break down even more, and so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously and so is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA redox signaling supplements, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. And ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science because redox itself is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of a signaling molecule, they just discovered one in this first discovery in science. There have now since been multiple signaling molecules that have been discovered, with multiple Nobel Prizes being awarded for research in the field of redox science. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling, and this slide will already be out of date with around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. According to medical researchers, as well as reported in the Huffington Post, who wrote about ASEA in this article I'm showing you, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. And there are now multiple universities who receive tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and congresses being held about redox, and medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. Now, as for ASEA around redox science, it's already light years ahead because ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. And here's just one example of that and how far ahead we are in redox science. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. Now, these genes are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. Moreover, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. The head professor of this university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, that's significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity, no toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to when it was younger and healthier. And so if you have health challenges, or if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live, and feel young again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism, better in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, etc., any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But on that note of medical doctors, you don't need to take my word for it. Here are some medical doctors now. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it. People need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
Now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. That's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology. They are Renew 28 Redox Gel and our Intensive Redox Serum. That's the two products on the right. These Redox technologies are supported and enhanced by the complementary all-natural ingredients products. They are our Gentle Refining Cleanser and our Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer, two products on the left. Now, a picture is really worth 1,000 words, right? So let's just show you what ASEA Redox technologies are worth with these amazing health, anti-aging, and age-reversing results. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes, spots, dots, and marks, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed, even for young people too, being rejuvenated, improving the quality of life, I'm sure giving this dude many more dates. Now, even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions are coming back to the proper surface of the skin. Now, this is Rosie, and the dramatic difference that you are seeing in the first two pictures on the left could not be seen by Rosie because she did not take those pictures. Actually, Rosie believed that the products were not working. Rosie went to see her doctor. That's who told her about ASEA and who took these pictures. And when Rosie told the doctor that the products didn't work, the doctor pulled out these pictures and showed them to Rosie. And I guess the rest of the story can be seen here, right? Now, everyone says they want to see how ASEA goes. Of course, naturally. But Rosie missed the moment by moment changes by not taking pictures. And you may miss them too by not taking pictures. So please take pictures. That's how you see how ASEA goes. Now, some people notice results in a reasonable amount of time, 7 weeks, like Rosie. Other people can notice things in 7 days. And lots of people can actually have an experience in around about 7 minutes. However, some people need to apply more product, more time, more patience, generally when there's more going on with their health. Now, what we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are all exactly the same. They're the same in you as they are in me, as they are in animals, as they are in plants, as they are in bottles of ASEA, third-party scientific validation proving such. Now, studies on redox show that ASEA redox products have an immediate positive effect. They work in every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you and or hurt you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Now, speaking of noticing the change, this doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face, how brave of him, and used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the difference once you see it? Can't unsee it. Now, Renew 28 is not just for your face. As you can see in these pictures, there's an arm, there's a hand, there's a belly. In these next pictures, you'll see more bellies. And in these next pictures, you'll see bums, buttocks, bottoms. now, Renew 28 can be used all over. And these pictures are actually from a study by a world-leading laboratory. And this study was done because there were many reports coming in from all over the world from people saying that their cellulite had disappeared while they were using Renew 28. And so scientists set upon double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trials to see, was there any truth to these stories? And what they found was after just 12 weeks, there was a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And when the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this was happening, they saw that the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. And so Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture, smoothing the skin, not just for visibly younger looking skin, but actual healthier skin. And Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as shaving or sun exposure and the like. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body, and you can know about it in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort, something that's hurting you, something that's sore, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the maximum discomfort you can experience, and apply Renew 28 on that point of discomfort 3 times within 5 minutes time. And usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of that discomfort within approximately 10 minutes. Now, nothing I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through. And ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. And so to really punctuate everything that I've spoken about so far, to really put an exclamation mark behind this is the most significant health and life science breakthrough, I want to hand it over to Kaleen, who's going to introduce a very special guest with a very significant story about his life. Thank you.
Thank you, Stevie. And both Stevie and I that have had the chance to personally know our next speaker, Dan Doyle, and be positively influenced by his purpose and passion with this breakthrough from how it's affected his own life. And, the gift that really changed his life and his family's life continues to change all of ours as well. So Danny, thank you for joining us tonight and sharing a bit of your story.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, Kaleen. Thanks, Stevie, for the presentation too. I wasn't looking for ASEA. ASEA found me, and I wasn't looking at losing my health at any time, but unfortunately that did happen through my journey in life. And fortunately for me, I listened to a friend of mine who told me about this, and you're going to hear my story now of where I've come from and why I continue to be so passionate about ASEA, and telling my story so many times to make sure that everybody understands the enormity of the breakthrough, and more importantly, that it is available for your loved ones as well. So I'm sure Stevie went through the company disclaimer that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But we have something pretty phenomenal. I mean, these products cannot compare. There's nothing out there that compares or competes with what we have. And what we have is foundational to everybody's health and without it, nothing in the body works. So cheekily we say with long-term use of these products, and sometimes even short-term use, they are a cure for skepticism. Someone has handed you an incredible gift if you're on this call for the first time and you are a guest of a person who obviously cares about you because they have told you about this. And it can have a substantial impact on your life and your loved ones' lives from a physical point of view. And also you're going to hear potentially from a financial point of view as well, because Stevie will go through the opportunity behind this breakthrough. Something else that I wasn't looking at the time that I was told about it was all about my health. So my story goes back to Sydney, Australia. My wife Suzanne and I are based here in Honolulu, Hawaii now. And this is me growing up and playing many sports, including this particular sport, bodybuilding, in my 20s. I fell into the health and fitness industry. I just loved keeping fit and healthy. And playing many sports and leading up to this, it was only fitting that I actually become an entrepreneur in the health and fitness industry as a personal trainer, and also obviously owning my own gym and having many businesses in the health and fitness industry. Now, let's fast forward 20 years from the age 24 in this photo to 44. And building and selling 20 traditional businesses, employing about 3,500 people in that time, coming to the end of my business career, and it was due to losing my health, as you're going to hear, but here still pretty fit and healthy at 44, not a bodybuilder anymore, but wanting to be the best version of a 50-year-old that I could be, going to the gym at 6:30 every morning and doing a lot of cardiovascular work, not knowing that I was actually very sick. In this photo, I'd already lost my health, and there wasn't any symptoms at this stage that had produced, but I did find something wrong with my body 6 months later in 2011. This is a photo of me on the right with no hair from the top of my head to my toes, spending 2.5 years in and out of hospital in Sydney, Australia. And what I went through at that time, wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It was a very difficult time. I literally didn't want to live anymore with what they were doing to me. It was so horrendous. Very fake smile here in this photo because it was with a hero of mine, Johnny Manor, who played the highest levels of rugby in Australia, played for the team that I support. And he'd been through all the hospital visits that I'd started here. And fortunately for him, he was in remission at this stage at the age of 21. But unfortunately for him, his issue came back straight after this photo was taken, and he was back in the hospital. They put him through things where he lost a lot of weight. He lost all his hair from all over his body again. And unfortunately, Johnny didn't come out. We lost him at the age of 23 years young. That was a real shock to all of us. I knew I was in a lot of trouble because I had two of the bad ones where he had one of the good ones, and my prognosis was not good whatsoever. At the end of my 2.5 years of hospital visits, I unfortunately was told to get my affairs in order, and as a result of that, I took the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. And I recommend that everybody does that. Do not leave the responsibility of your health in your doctor's hands, for goodness sake. It was a big lesson for me, knowing I needed to come in from every single angle to look after my health. Anyway, I did some research. I went into an alkaline diet. I spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water from a lot of different companies from around the world. And you would think my body would have been heading in the right direction at that point for the 2 years I was looking after myself, but that wasn't the case. This is a picture of me after those 2 years. So my blood works were still heading in the wrong direction, and I was still in a lot of trouble. This is 2014 now, where a friend of mine reached out to me and said, I think I found something that can help you. So long story short, I got on a plane from Sydney, Australia, and flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, met my friend Bart Cotter in the headquarters of the company, ASEA, started on these Redox molecules. In 3 hours, my body was expelling things so fast, I had little red spots all over my upper torso, which wasn't annoying me at all, but my body was expelling rubbish from my body. In 12 hours, a 20-year stomach problem, a caffeine intolerance, had gone away. And in 2 to 3 days, because I had so much lung damage from what they did to me in that hospital where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time, my lungs were functioning perfect just in a short period of time taking this product. I went back to Australia. I kept drinking this stuff in this little blue bottle. Long story short, again, 12 months later, this is the day in 2015, the doctors told me no sign of those two major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away, 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose all day. All of these things had gone. My whole body was rebuilt, top to bottom. Let's fast forward another 2 years and have a look at the anti-aging side of what this product can do. Stevie's already spoken about this is the biggest breakthrough in health, anti-aging, and human performance. Let's go back to 2014. This is before I started on the product, a few days before. Didn't have my health whatsoever. What you're seeing on the outside was a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. 1 year on the product, looking way better, feeling a lot better. Still a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. 3 years on the product, you can see my complexion. It's definitely a reflection of what's going on the inside. So, guys, if you're not looking too well on the outside, I can tell you you're probably not doing too well on the inside. And you need to come in from a holistic point of view. You need to have a look at what you're doing with your health from definitely foundationally, from a redox point of view, from a nutrition point of view, from a health point of view, when it comes to, from a exercise point of view, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, whatever it takes, come in from every angle to look after your health. Things evolved for me along the way. And what evolved was, thank goodness, there was a business model behind the breakthrough. And that business model allowed me to share a SEER with other people. And what they did was gave me the benefits of receiving thank you checks from the company. Those thank you checks I invested back into my own health, which allowed me to saturate my body to get these amazing little molecules to the damage to signal my body to where the problem was. I believe what we have is the most significant and compelling breakthrough that we'll ever see in so many ways. A lot of people are struggling physically and financially, guys. And with that, you're going to hear about the opportunity behind this breakthrough. I'll hand back to Kaleen. Thanks for having us, guys. Great to be on. As much as I was quadruply booked because just having one of those days, but that's the excitement of what we have and trying to get this to as many people as possible. So thanks for coming on the call. We'll catch you at the end.
Absolutely. Thank you, Danny. And, you know, the really wonderful part of this next part of our webinar is Stevie's going to do a phenomenal job helping you think through what this opportunity could mean for you if you're looking at it as a business opportunity, but also what is really unique about the ASEA culture. And so, Stevie, thanks for bringing us back to this part of the story.
And no problem. Thanks for having me back again. And thank you, Dan, for, yeah, I mean, your incredible story and your incredible decision to not quit when I think most people faced with your circumstances, it would have been an easy thought to come across their mind, but you didn't entertain that. And then thank you for also having the heart to turn around and share with people what had happened to you and changing people's lives. Incredibly successful leaders in this company, ladies and gentlemen. Dan is just one of those, but you know, to me, one of the most important. He's the first one to take me under his wing and introduce me to ASEA and believe in me long before I could myself, and teach me how to believe in myself and how to become more. So eternally grateful for you, Dan. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity not just to change your life, but to change the lives of many others too. Because the truth is, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. And so you can change your life, but you can also change the lives of others. And so this really has created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this to make a living, again, while bettering people's lives. And so as for the products, again, ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement for two very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than just one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, who's a medical and atomic physicist, no one but he's been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. In fact, for the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was impossible. And two, ASEA is heavily patented. But look, not only is ASEA not allowed to be copied because of the patents, ASEA just simply can't be copied. because there's no way for you to look into a bottle of ASEA and figure out how to reverse engineer it, because there are trade secrets in the making of ASEA. The secrets aren't in the bottle, it's in the making of it. And so ASEA can't be copied. And that means we have no copycats. And that means we have no competition. And that means no one in the world has what ASEA has, no one. And that means no other products in the world can do what ASEA does, none of them. Nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what ASEA can. Because only ASEA, and ASEA only, is redox signaling molecules that we're able to get from outside of our body back into our bodies to levels of abundance like we had when we were kids again. Nothing else can do that. And by the way, because redox works in everybody, and because everybody needs redox, and because nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox, and because redox can't hurt anybody, and because no other products can make that claim, no juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, or whatever it might be, that means ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors like nothing else has ever before and nothing else ever will. Doesn't matter whether it's health care and wellness, or sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. And these are multi-trillion-dollar industries, by the way. But again, ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from, and the only company in the world that can serve people to the depth and level of achievement of significance like nothing else can. And so ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream, really. And the mission here is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. Now, we can't do that on our own. And so we look for people to help spread the word. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money. They'll pay you just for sharing redox with others. So for people looking for either an extra or part-time or full-time or big-time or legacy-leaving income, for people who have dreams of a better life, income, lifestyle, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions, to be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality. And ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. Now, you receive a residual income, not just from the first, but from all of the repeated ongoing purchases made by every single person you refer to ASEA. Every purchase they make, month after month, year after year. And because you can refer as many people as you like, and because those people can purchase as much product as they like again and again and again, your again and again and again residual income potential is unlimited. Now, on top of that, you also receive unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person your contacts and others also refer. And there's no limits, again, to how far and wide these referrals can go. So just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, food, homewares, beauty products, health products, whatever it might be, it's natural that people tell people who then tell even more people, and it goes on, and it happens all the time. Word of mouth is the oldest and still today #1 most powerful and effective and most trusted form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide, and ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening new markets almost every single year. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. Now, if you really understood the power of residual income, you'd be willing to walk through a brick wall to get it. Or if you came from where I came from, you'd be willing to crawl through broken glass and then run through a brick wall if necessary to get it. Because residual income, you know what, it's not just very cool and impressive. It is those things, but most importantly, it's most important because you have residual bills. Wouldn't it make more sense and lead you to more financial security if you had residual income? Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Well, let me tell you, out of every 100 people, only 1 of them is wealthy. Only 3 of them are financially secure. 7 must still work to survive. Now, remember, this is at 65, and they're not working because they want to. They're working because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. And 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. And so you've got to ask yourself, what's going wrong? And is that the retirement plan I want for myself? You've got to figure out what's one of the main financial principles that the top 4% seem to have figured out that the other 81% don't. And it's this, I'm telling you, it's how to make money that is no longer dependent on your paid by the hour, selling your precious time for money, labor intensive or own activity job. And where I came from, that stood for JOB, just over broke, if you were lucky. It's called active income. And the truth is, sooner or later, you won't be able to be as active as you are right now. We all know that. And so therefore, the other unfortunate truth is you won't be able to hold on to as much active income as you have right now. And if you're thinking that my active income worries it enough as it is, well, imagine later on when you can't work as much. And I hope that's not sooner rather than later. It does happen to some people, and it has happened to a lot more people than we could probably ever remember before in just the last 6 months, let alone the last 12. Now, this has always been a big problem. 81% of people get trapped in it. Money is an excellent servant, but a terrible master. If you do not find a way to make money while you sleep, you will be a slave for money until you die. Now, I'm not saying jobs are bad. They're a good place to start for most of us. And if you truly do love your job, keep it. Probably lucky to have one in this economy, and you're blessed if you really love it. But you know what? Still find a way to make money outside of your job that won't interfere with what you're currently doing, because only relying on a single source of active income is not smart and dangerous to your financial security. So for people who are smart, who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, who are able to recognize a good thing, who decide to take control of their finances, their freedom, and their security, for people who aren't happy with the amount of money that they have or how they have to make it, for people who have dreams and want a better life, ASEA is a significant opportunity to make a significant difference in people's lives and be paid a significant residual income from the inevitable growth of its global expansion to afford you those dreams and give you that real freedom. Now, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with ASEA. Who we become and what we do is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make really great money here, that's for sure. And you can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world. Have a really great time, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, and a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it is the effect we have on others. That is one of the most valuable currencies there is. And that is the heart of ASEA. And it was demonstrated because the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research, clinical studies proving ASEA, those big drug companies offered ASEA huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to buy the ASEA Redox technology off them. However, those drug companies wanted ASEA to shut down and take everyone off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Vertus Norton and his son Tyler Norton, they both had the great foresight to see grave concerns and consequences in such a deal. Because Vertus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless, to then those people experiencing life-changing power from Redox. And when Vertus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they could not, in good conscience, sell out. And so that's why they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. You see, for Vertus and Tyler, what had once started out as just a very big business play had now become more. The ASEA founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement, the health route, rather than the drug route, in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to you and me and everyone without a prescription. And one of ASEA's foremost guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is, by the way, perpetually demonstrated in every decision they make, and that is to always put people and principles before, over and above, just ego and economics. Now, the ASEA founders and corporate team come from big backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They are exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, famous household name companies, but their corporate soul revolves around putting people first, having an impact, making a difference, helping others to believe, belong, and become more, to be a force for good in the world. So you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Let them know what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers easily. Yes, there's plenty of university studies. Yes, but most importantly, there's hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing redox experiences for you to actually see. ASEA is the real deal. So if you want to be happier and healthier and live younger, longer, stronger, you may just want to become an ASEA customer. But if you have dreams and desires, if you want to be, do, have and able to give more, if you want to help people be happier and healthier, if you want a better life, income, lifestyle, if you want to increase the prosperity of the planet, if you want to make a real difference in the world, become part of this Redox reality, and you can become more. If you'll just pass this information on for many, many others, as someone has passed it on to you today, just invited you here, you can and you will better the lives of many, many others by inviting many, many more here too. And then your life, it will become better in many, many ways. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy and well. And Kaleen, thanks so much for looking after me here, as always.
Absolutely, Stevie. Thank you. That was phenomenal. I always learn new stuff each time. Okay, folks, so we're going to wrap things up. I'm sharing my screen really quickly as well. Hold on one sec. Okay, good. So also, I just want to remind you, if you have any questions that have come up while we've been doing the presentation, go ahead and put them in the chat box. We'll try to quickly get to them in a moment. You know, it all comes back to the product. So I want to just give you this phenomenal visual that shows you our full product line, right? Which is all regarding cellular health, okay? And just to give you a little bit of an orientation, assuming, you know, some of you tonight on the call might be ready to get started. So you can see with this graph, this is showing the cellular Redox drink that we have, and it comes 4 bottles to a case. Some people often ask about that because, you know, can I just try a bottle? And the reason that we don't sell it by the bottle, you can see by this graph here on the left, that we want to encourage you to get back to the person that invited you and really put together a good product plan and do at least a 3-month trial. And you can see the difference, because someone that just tries it for a week, you know, you've got that 10% ratio. When you get down to someone that's really taken the correct product plan for them on the drink for 3 months, they've got a 95% reality of how the molecules are changing their body from the inside out. If you just try it for a week, you're not necessarily going to feel how your blood flow is changing, all these different things. It takes a bit more time. So you just want to have the correct expectations on that, right? This again just shows you our topicals. You saw the amazing before and after pictures with Rosie and all those good shots that Stevie was showing us. So you've got your topical gel here and the large white tube, and just to the left of that, the Renew Advanced Serum, which is part of the skincare line, also has the live molecules in it. So you can find out more data about that. As we put in the chat box, go to 3timesin5minutes.com and rewatch how to do that simple test that Stevie educated you on as well in the webinar. Again, we didn't go into our nutrition, but this is just a quick visual to show you that we do have phenomenal nutrition. We didn't reinvent vitamins here. They've been on the market for over 100 years in terms of vitamins in general, but these formulas are top of the line for a couple of reasons. One, because they're whole food. There's nothing synthetic in them. Also, each formula has a built-in absorption complex. So no matter what your digestive health or gut health is, you're guaranteed to be able to absorb these formulas and take these raw materials into the cells, working with the molecules to have incredible cellular health. So definitely learn about these depending on what country you live in. It may vary a bit on how they're sold, but they're incredible, okay? And then again, just an orientation point on why we encourage you to get back to the person that invited you to the webinar today, because you will sometimes find our products on sale at places like Amazon or eBay or third-party websites. Those are not recognized distribution lines of the product. And the reason is that this is a breakthrough for humanity. If we could just put it on a shelf and just have people buy it without any education, then, you know, Virtus and Tyler might have gone down that route. But they realized it takes time to really orient people on the role of these molecules and what they do in the body. So when you order it through your distributor, you get incredible product support and education that you won't get if you just randomly see it on the internet somewhere. And sometimes people selling it on the internet are just trying to offload products. So we can't guarantee that the product's not expired. You want to make sure it's safe, that it's pure. When you're ordering it directly through a registered ASEA distributor from their online store, which is, you know, very easy to access, then you know that you're getting it directly from source, directly from the manufacturing facility within 3 to 5 business days, which is awesome. We have warehouses all over the world. And so wherever you live, you're going to get your product from the closest warehouse. And when you order it from an ASEA distributor, you get to participate in free product programs that we call loyalty rewards. And that just, helps you save even more money. So, you know, again, just in closing, wherever you are in terms of getting started on the product, if you are ready to try it as a consumer, we have incredible consumer accounts. You can choose wholesale or full price. You may want to share it with others if you love helping people. And sometimes that's just to get your product paid for you and your family, or you might want additional income a month. And so whatever that goal is, the distributor that you work with will help you to make that a reality. And then of course, you know, you can do this as a full-time profession, as Stevie, myself, and Danny do, who you've met tonight on the webinar. And there's all kinds of income potential there, and freedom and schedule and flexibility in your work environment, as you see this beautiful woman on the beach. So it's great. This is just a quick visual on the different kinds of accounts we have. So again, you've got, I mentioned we have customer accounts, and then we have what's called the associate account, which is what allows you to share with others. And when you choose the associate account, there's a one-time fee that you pay upon enrollment, which is $40 US, or the equivalent in your country's currency. And then once a year, even if you're actively using that account and ordering product, you do pay a $25 US or equivalent in your currency renewal fee. So just keep that in mind, which is a steal for all of the benefits you get with this account, from the wholesale pricing to special welcome packages to the free product point program. Okay. So in closing, you know, again, this is all about helping you live longer, better, and stronger. And, you know, in today's environment, it's so important to create an environment of wellness, so that no matter from the inside out. So hopefully tonight you've gained more insight on the value and beauty of the body being able to heal itself, and really keeping your cells from an interior viewpoint quite healthy. Because then no matter what you're getting hit with from the outside environment, stress, toxins, whatever, weird, you know, illnesses, et cetera, if you're maintaining a strong immune system, it makes a huge difference. So we're going to close tonight with this incredible quote from one of our founders, Vertus Norton. And he says, "We are all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the world." And I apologize, I'm getting cut off a little bit here, so I'm going to give that to you again. I had my toolbar blocking. So we are all at the start of something big with great purpose, and right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world. And I share that with you guys because it again just shows that this is not just an amazing supplement, it's a whole company culture. It's a whole global movement across the planet to help people realize how they can turn on the body's ability to heal itself. And it just happens to have an incredible financial opportunity with it. So, you know, take a moment if you have any questions. Again, last chance to put them in the chat box here, or of course you can get back to the person that invited you. In about 5 minutes at the top of the hour, we're going to stay on this Zoom channel, but switch into what we call team training. So those of us that are distributors and sharing the See a Story gather on this Zoom every Monday night, so that we can actually increase our skills and connect with each other. So if you are a guest, you're welcome to stay for that as well. And again, a final thanks to Stevie and Dan for taking the time to be with us and share a bit of your reality of ASEA.